My intro is telling you that before this video starts, I did a video about realism versus fun in a what if. And basically, to sum that up, this video can't go on without leaning away from the realism of what would happen and what works inside the continuity. For this what if to continue, I'm going to have to bend some rules and pull out some bullshit, okay? Just keep it simple, keep it fast. With that, let's start this what if for realsies, okay? Issei's relationship with Asya is even greater than in canon, at least up to this point. Not only is Issei a massive simp with a capital S, but Asya is doing this in purity, understand the concept of love at first sight, or taking your time. With this and the fact there is no competition, it's safe to say we've skipped at least a season of development, or undevelopment, as if Rias hadn't tried to rock the dragon, quote unquote, then Asya might not have tried to use the close break technique. Which, if you don't know what that means, then go rewatch DxD. Issei does end up going on that lunch date though that I mentioned last episode. Except he brings Asya with her because, just meeting up with some devils. Why not meet some friends? Have Asya extend her knowledge of the world. However, they took the date part far more seriously than Issei thought about. After all, he had just gotten out of a battle and was more worried about Asya than other things. They were wearing some more revealing and seductive clothing than they probably should have. This causes Asya to get extremely sus and clingy because she does not want to share her quote-unquote boyfriend. They're not exactly a real thing yet, but in her mind, there's no difference. Well, I'm sure she knows the difference, but she doesn't want to know the difference. This means that Asya and Issei is the main shipping here, though. In case you haven't realized. While I'm not much of a shipping kind of person, I do think they have the better relationship in the series. And to add on top of that, Issei's not becoming a devil here, so he isn't as far shoehorned into it. Thus, I believe that this is a safe The four of them discuss various things, such as becoming a devil, Asya's sacred gear, fallen angels / rogue devils, and etc. Issei at this point was feeling a bit pressured. This was technically the second, but felt like the third time she was trying to get him to join them. It wasn't that he minded joining the house. Kicking butt and saving the town was what he'd like to do. Plus, he got around to be Booba and the second best DxD fight me in the process. But the whole turning into a devil thing wasn't exactly on his bucket list. While it might have been possible he could just turn into one with the Omnitrix, he wasn't quite sure. Either way, he wished to stay human, at least as a base form. Rias would sigh, annoyed, but eventually gives in. Remember when I mentioned some realism versus fun thing? That's where we pull out the bullshit. Rias pulls out some paperwork, and to sum it up, the paperwork allows him and Asya to become members of the house without being devils. And I don't want to do this, really. I really don't want to. But I just don't see a way to continue this what if without getting him involved with the house. So, we gotta pull some strings. It's either that, or I ignore the Omnitrix's DNA failsafe, which I'd rather not do. So, him and Asya are part of the house, but they're not devils, which is unfortunate, but oh well, we've seen humans keep up with devils before. We can now skip to episode 8, and I don't see the Wrath dealing with Princess Putty Pants, okay? That's Terriermon's job. The Wrath does not momentai. Momentai does not exist in the Wrath's dictionary. And because they're not devils, I'm also going to say that they can't get familiars. Just to kind of even out the fact that I'm pulling some BS with the contract. This means that Mr. Blue Dragon, or whatever its name was, I kind of already forgot. Dragon Pikachu is not part of the series. I know, it's very unfortunate. It's so sad. This also means that they don't have the whole tennis and dodgeball game. It also means that Issei's nuts are spared. Thank goodness. Gotta look at the important parts, guys, okay? The important things. I see multiple ways Dai next episode could start. It all depends on Asya. Yes, our little wholesome bundle of joy. We just want a head pat and be all cute and cuddly. Kind of like a doll. Except you don't want her to just be cute and cuddly. You want to interact with this doll. Maybe this was a bad analogy. Anyway, going back to the script, in that episode, Asya says she has no problem showing off her boobs. However, it's completely possible this was more so caused by her jealousy of Rias clinging on to Issei. However, at the same time, their relationship here is closer than it was in canon without the rivalry. So, I'm gonna be kind of blunt and say that if anything happens between Issei and Asya, the night or that day, Issei isn't gonna get his teeth kicked in by Konoko. I almost said his kick teeth in. How would that even work? Can you kick with your teeth? Gotta look in the technicalities for that. The day continues on. While Rias might make her swing to avoid marriage, it would go even further south due to Asya's presence. And then Brachiart comes in and continues to block Rias. Unfortunate. The next day rolls by and we meet our favorite Goldilocks boy to beat up. There's only room for one blonde pimp in the show, and that's Kiva. Riser can stay out. This would end up with both Issei and Riser about to throw some hands, because he taunted Issei. Issei's a human, so he really doesn't give a damn about his demon privilege or the fact he's a phoenix, and thinks more upon the lines that he's making out with a girl in front of his unwanted fiancé. So not only is he being a dick, he's cheating in front of her, but he's also taunting his dreams to be a harem king, because Issei still wants to be a harem king. It's still his goal, he just has appreciation for Asya. Totally something that Issei would definitely not cheat on any girl, right? No, he wouldn't do that, even if he wants to be harem king, right? Nah, Issei's not a hypocrite. Probably. Issei slams down the Omnitrix and turns into Swamp Fire. And because I don't want to let Nep know I'm working on this, we're not going to come up with a name. Maybe you can come up one? You can come up with a name for Swamp Fire, so shh, don't tell her, guys. Don't tell her. But I told her I was deleting this doc because we got into an argument, but it's okay. Okay, it's fine. Just come up with the name down in the description, please. Shh, she'll never know. Anyway, do you know Swamp Fire is overpowered? Yeah, he's practically immortal. He's strong enough to rip out a hybrid weather tower, though he did have to put some roots into the ground. Has access to methane gas, control over plant life, plantokinesis, and many other abilities. For the sake of balancing, I'm going to say that he's weaker than Wrath, though, even though he may be stronger. And yes, this Swamp Fire is blossomed by now, just so you know. Third time's the charm. Swamp Fire goes to punch Riser, but is knocked away by Riser's palm. Issei gets back up, and this time the staff goes through him. He smirks and knocks her lights out with one punch before breaking the stick in half, or whatever you call Mira's weapon. I really don't know what it is. I'm just going to call it a stick. Riser would hold his harem back. After all, he's an honorable man, and decides to fight Issei. They take it outside, and Riser gets wrecked. I do believe that Riser has better pyrokinesis than Swamp Fire, but Swamp Fire has him beaten almost everything else, except for flight. Swamp Fire can't fly. However, Swampfire is able to extend Plant out of the ground long enough for him to blast Riser back to said ground. Eventually, Riser would be losing, as he was immortal, but he felt pain. He was taking mental damage and was getting sloppy. After Riser was being around enough, Gravia stops the fight. Gravia? I actually forgot how to pronounce her name, guys, but you know, it's the maid lady. It was clear that Issei was going to actually lose. Now, I know I just said that Riser would be losing it, that he is losing it, but here's the thing. You have practical immortality versus immortality. Not to mention, Issei's Omnitrix is on a timer. If you give these two enough time in a slugfest, Riser is more likely going to win. I don't think Swampfire has the DPS to take Riser down mentally before he times out. The Omnitrix is on a limited power supply, after all. Because this fight is brought into a draw, but not really, because Issei was beating the crap out of Riser, but Riser was going to win due to immortality, Gravia decides that it will be brought down with the rating game. Now, it should be noted that technically, Issei can't enter this because he isn't an evil piece. But we're going to pull some bullshit out for this next part, because this What If is doing really good, and it needs to stay up. I mean, I'm getting into views. There's nice views, and obviously I have to get views. YouTube ad revenue and all that stuff. I don't get paid. What the hell am I saying? Anyway, I have been SMDBZX Productions, just me, only me, and I will text you all. I'm going to text you all later. I'm hacking you right now, okay? I'm finding your phone number, okay? I have it. I'm going to text you. So, you don't press the like button and leave a comment down below saying, I don't know, something relevant to the video. I'm going to text you. I'm going to send you a spam text. Yeah, don't think I won't. Anyway, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.